Hello, everybody! Move on to the next one here. Hello, hello! Welcome in. So, alright. It's Monday. Usually we'd be doing Mahjong tonight, but, it was Legendary Day over the weekend, or the Day of Legends, and the response to that was a lot. There was a lot of people. So, as part of that, I figured we should do a Monday night stream. I'm assuming everyone can hear me because I'm continually making audio updates. So please just let me know if you can hear me. Good. So I thought we'd do some fishing today. I guess we're doing a fishing week because I have a fish. I think I'm planning a fish train on Thursday at this point. I don't know. It's going to be wild. But Day of Legends went way bigger than I expected. And so I thought it would just be a little bit more apt. But don't worry, if you're here for Mahjong and you want to kick my butt in that'll be back next week. So, couple of quick little admin things, both on Twitch and YouTube. I adjusted the ad rates to be slightly lower. So, like per hour, I think the lowest I could set it for YouTube. I wanted to get them at the same, but I can't because YouTube has different settings. YouTube is like 2 or 3 minutes of ads every 30 minutes, and Twitch is 3 minutes of ads every 60 minutes. I can't not play ads as much as I would want to, but yeah. So just a quick note on that. If you were, I had some people saying, hey, like the ads were getting in the way of things. I have turned them down based on some recommendations from a friend. Also, if you ever want to get rid of ads, you can just subscribe. Thanks. Ads are helpful. Next thing is, yeah, if you have any questions, if you have questions about big fishing, like in any way, shape, or form, I am basically here for the next 3 hours to explain those questions to you, or to give you answers. I already see that we have a question over on YouTube and Skunkwitch. I will get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to say, if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask, especially if you were out fishing this weekend and you were really confused or overwhelmed. Please let me be able to help reduce that overwhelmness. But otherwise, I think we are good to go. We'll get started here once the Twitch ads are wrapping up. But I have no plan for which fish we're going to go to. Like, there's no fish train planned for today because I literally made this decision like maybe 30 minutes before I announced it yesterday. So no huge fish train today, but there will be a fish train on Thursday. I want to make that clear. Fish train Thursday, that'll be announced Wednesday afternoon. But yeah. But yeah, no, if you want to come and join me and like just follow me around, I'm on my Alt Navigator's brand on Marlboro. I'm currently standing in Limsa somewhere, just down the road from a invisible ninja in pajamas. Final Fantasy XIV. So we are going to be... Yeah, Marlboro is the US server. If not, you can just pretend to follow me along on the on your own server. That's up to you. Do what you want. But let me just double check and make sure I have all the buttons pushed. But I think that's it. Again, like I said, I didn't really... I posted about the Day of Legends, what was that, Thursday or something? And it just kind of took off. I think on Blue Sky, it was like, what, 400 likes or something like that? And then, sorry, 189. And then on Twitter, not X, I refuse to call it X. On Twitter, it went like, how many? 209,000 views. So, a lot of people were interested in it, and that was great. That's really good to see. I was very happy for it, so. Yeah. Game, there we go. We also learned over the weekend what happens when your game runs out of RAM. Not VRAM, RAM. I had a memory leak in my browser Friday night when I was streaming with Wrath, and T-posing showed up. You can see a clip of that on my Twitch. Actually, I think it's also on YouTube as well. It is like you're in G-pose, except everything's broken. It was genuinely the first time. I have been playing this game for 11 years now or something like that. I have never heard or seen anybody talk about anything like that. So, yeah, make sure you don't have a memory leak in your browser, folks. I'm using a different browser this time, though, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Hopefully, I also have my task manager up just in case. But right now we're currently sitting at 74% memory, which is about what I expect. No browser is taking up 20 gigabytes of RAM, which is good. That would explain a whole lot of other issues I was having too. So, anyways, let me get myself caught up on YouTube. Make sure we're all good on that stream. Make sure we're good on that stream. All right. All right, so like I said, we're going to be asking, you can ask questions. I will show you how to do things. If I have to swap to another character to show you, that's great. I am working on, and I have committed to, excuse me, Amanda, do you mind if I quiet you down there for a second? I have committed to actually getting a starter's guide to big fishing recorded this week. I don't know if it'll be out this week, but I am going to record the VO for that and start recording and editing that down this week as well. So there will be like an actual proper guide on getting started with big fishing. So first question though that we had was coming over from YouTube from Skunkwitch39. I really love your guides. They've been helping me a lot starting big fishing. What do you think of the method of starting fishing from Dawn Trail and working backwards, which is my plan as of now? That is a really good question because the fishing in Final Fantasy XIV is so large. I mean, there's like this many fish, but 15. This is 1,400 fish plus another half. No, 1450, and that doesn't even include spearfishing, which I don't have unlocked on this character. Oh, guess we're gonna go do that really quick. Breaking down by expansion is a really, really smart idea. Because you can get super overwhelmed just due to the sheer number of fish, and by doing it on content, you're pretty much going to consistently be seeing people fishing there as well. Now we're towards the end of the expansion. Like, I mean, we're getting close to we're literally a month or so away from patch 7.5, which is the final patch. What you'll start seeing is more people doing fishing. One of the things that I have noticed when doing fishing is, and this will be the third expansion I have been like doing guides and stuff for, because I started doing guides in Shadowbringers. You will absolutely start running into more and more people, because no one fishes. Not a lot of people fish in the first half of the expansion. They all fish in the back half of the expansion. So starting with Dawn Trail right now as the fish are coming out is really good, because then you get like the modern titles, you get the modern gear, you get all the modern stuff out of the way. And I really think that the Dawn Trail fish were very good at somewhat being introductory fish. So yeah, I would start with Dawn Trail and work backwards. So one thing that I would also keep in mind is the big three fish that we all talk about, which is Ruby Dragon, Cinder Surprise, and Aelid Scan. And I guess at this point, Purse of Riches as well would be really, really useful to keep in mind, but that's a Dawn Trail fish. But as long as you kind of keep those four fish in mind, you can pretty much keep going. Yeah, when I caught Shin Snuffler today was the first time since I started big fishing. I saw someone else fishing for it. Yeah, you'll start running into some of them, but you'll start running into people in later, like in previous expansion ones, especially now that we're in the back half of this expansion, when more people are fishing. But you'll definitely see them when you're out Dawn Trail. Hyper Dude Man, thank you for that super chat. Hey, Fruity, no questions, but I got a final fish this weekend. Congratulations. Better done without you. Cool. What was your final fish? I guess then, Hyper Dude Man. And yeah, DT, you're right, Aflute. The DT fishing, Dawn Trail fishing is way fun. Dawn Trail fishing is probably one of my favorites expansions since Shadowbringers. So being able to have another good fun expansion for fishing is great. All right, what fish are coming up? I can get. Oh, it's not until midnight. I'm not staying up till midnight for. Hold on. Do you need? I have Shonisaurus pinned for some reason. It's not for you. Who am I? Who do I need Shonisaurus for? Which alt needs Shoni? Oh, I bet you it's my. I bet you my Oceania alt needs Shonisaurus. There it is. Oh, Snowy. Snowy's a good one to leave for the end. I find Snowy a ton of fun. Okay, Snumbo, or sorry, not Stumbo. I am so sorry. Orange Sum is asking, as somebody who is finally all caught up on all the big fish, how does one get into / contribute to Discovery for patch 7.5? So let me bring up at least an image of a spreadsheet really quick, and I'll show you how this works. If you want to get into helping find fish in patch 7.5, a lot of that has been centralized into the fish cord, though you don't necessarily have to be in the fish cord for it. When new fish are added, a lot of people assume that we can data mine information, much like the botanists and miners can, and that's wrong. Let me just get this picture really quick. So if you want to contribute to Discovery, what you'll do is you can join the Fishcord, which is discord.gg/fishcord, and we will have a spreadsheet with all the new fish names in it, and everything's blank. And what you'll see is a spreadsheet that looks a little something like this. Let me get this set up here. There. Okay. So this is a spreadsheet that we created, and it'll look something kind of like this. And you'll see there is, actually, hold on. I have one more thing I can do. So you'll see that there's like, it's a little too big, but that's fine. A little bit smaller. You'll see that we have different columns based on the weather, and it's all broken down into time. So what we do is basically you see which weather you're fishing in. So this is the weather that you're fishing into, and then you see what the previous weather is. And then you basically just pick a bait, you say what time it is, and then you spend the entire 23 minutes going for fish. And you report whether or not you got it. Now, if you got it, then it will show up, and we'll make a note of that. And, what was that, clouds into rain? Yeah. You'll have a rough idea of, like, okay, you'll start seeing reports like, oh, it's in this one right here. And so when this becomes available, we now have narrowed down a lot of stuff for what it could or could not be. The goal of every test is to hit at least 21 reported tests per window and bait combination. I know I just moved all the stuff. Ignore that. The goal is to hit the 21 bait, time, and weather combinations. That time, or that number, is very much kind of like statistically should have been caught by that point. If it isn't caught by that point, but it is in that window, then we will just adjust the number. But so far, 21 has been reliable. That is like statistically the point at which a fish should have been at least seen. So that's why these are all grayed out, because they all hit 21 plus. The goal then is we just hit as many of these as we can, and then once we know which window it's in, then we can start eliminating ones that aren't going to be there at all. So like, since we knew it was in this one, got that right? Yeah, because we knew it was in that one. We knew that it couldn't necessarily be in certain other ones, which is why some of these are still blank. But for the most part, that's what it is. So you'll head into the fish cord. Tyoto Taeyun is the one who manages all that, and he'll be able to kind of tell you what needs to happen for the 7.5 fish. Let's see. I still see people at windows for Snowy. Yeah. Snowy, Ruby, Sidereal Whale. Actually, I don't see a lot of people at Sidereal Whale anymore. But Snowy, Ruby, Cinder, obviously, Scon. Even if you don't see them, if you just yell out in chat, like, good luck, fishers, usually you'll get a response. So, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I think you can. I don't fully know how, like, the botanist and miner stuff come out. My understanding is that you can pull it. But the thing with botanist and miner is that you only have to wait an hour at most, and then you'll see it. Like, if you know the zones that it is in, which if you've gathered everything, you'll be able to tell kind of which zone everything is in. You just have to pop around to all the zones, and within an hour you'll know when they all are. So that's relatively straightforward. With fishing, we don't get that at all. Oh man, I just missed Diamond Eye. Okay, so it has the lure fish. So the lure fish, which we refer to, the community, the English-speaking community at least, refers to those as hidden fish. Let me go over to my other character here, and I'll bring up one of those guys. But the question is, has lure fish made it more complicated for discovery? Not really, no. If anything, it's actually made it easier. What has happened is the way that the lures work, the hidden fish at least, is whenever a fish is available, there's a chance for the message to proc. If the fish isn't available, it is not going to proc. And so, when you're working with lures, it is a little bit easier to find the fish because you don't necessarily have to get a bite. Like if we were when we were hunting for Purse of Riches, we had to look for a bite. But if we're looking for Datniotes, then we don't need to look for a bite. We just need to look for that proc. And so it's a little bit easier, actually. I know, like, with Datniotes, I was able to macro it. Like, I wrote a macro that let me... look at my ugly macros here. Do I still have it somewhere? Nope, that's for Hydro. That's for other things. That's for Fish Fest. I don't know if I still have it anymore, but I did have a macro. Oh. These are all like Fish Fest stuff and old crafting macros and stuff. Those are from Fisher Feud. I don't have it anymore. But I did have a macro that basically let me just spam Ambitious Lure 3 times, so I only had to look at my screen like every 12 seconds or something like that, which made it really easy to be able to just sit there and then press a macro, and if I hear the noise of a hidden fish coming up, then I could jump in and be like, ah, here it is, and I know that that's when the window is, and then I could start actually looking for the fish. So that's how we look for hidden fish now, is that we actually don't look for the fish, we look for the message. For the old folks, for those of us who remember fishing before patch 5.3, it's the same way that we would use fish eyes to look for fish eyes fish. However, this one actually requires a little bit more involvement. Your macros look better than mine. Yeah, I try and keep things. I try and keep things so organized. Like I need to go through and delete this all because this was all from Fisher Feud for Fish Fest last month. Man, that hasn't even been a month. No, it was a month. Yeah, it has been a month since Fish Fest. Man, it feels like forever since then. Anyways, so for those, all that to say, yeah, FanFest in almost a month. The aquarium meetup is in a month. Right? Yeah, the 23rd. Yeah, I have to get all my volunteers for that together probably this week. Anyways, so when you're looking at hidden fish, for those who aren't aware of what hidden fish are, these are a new type of fish that were added in Dawn Trail that react specifically to ambitious or modest lure, depending on the bite type or the bite, the hook set of the fish. So here I'm in the westbound Zoger, and if I want to go for condors, which are a hidden fish. Let's run collect 2 because it's a collectible fish. I will cast out and I'll use Ambitious Lure up to 3 times. Now you can only use Ambitious or Modest Lure 3 times. Something's happening. Thank you. Now is not the time to break, game. But I will cast out, and I'm looking for a very specific message to appear, which is not appearing, and that's fine because it has a chance every time you cast out and use the lure, there's a chance for it to appear, and sometimes it'll appear on the first, sometimes it'll appear on the second, sometimes on the third. There it is. So whenever I see this message, that is specifically for Zogre Condor, and if I see that message, Zogre Condor has a chance to bite. If I don't see that message, it will not bite at all. So if I'm targeting condors specifically and I don't see the message, I use rest and reel back in. And that's basically the gist of Hidden Fish. But if you remember from pre-patch 5.3 with old fish eyes, this is basically a new and, in my opinion, better implementation of the fish eyes mechanic. So that's what Hidden Fish are. Does that info also refer to ocean fishing minigame if you're trying to find one of the fabled fish? Yes. Fabled fish will have their own similar spreadsheets or tracker. But it is, the weather is always going to be spectral, so it's literally just which route and which time of day, as Chaos is explaining right now. Yeah. It's a whole lot more simpler, but it could take longer because it's every 2 hours. So that's Hidden Fish in a nutshell. And yeah, the fabled fish, ocean fishing will have a similar discovery, but it'll be less of where the fish is and more of what time of day the fish will be, and also the big important thing that'll be really needed for ocean fishing is timing, like the bite time. Some of the lure macros mention a grace period. Why? That is another feature of the lures. So let me head back and explain that really quick too. And I actually have a macro specifically to display this. Alright, so whenever you use ambitious or modest lure, there is a 5-second quote-unquote grace period, that's what we call it, where a fish is not going to bite at all, period. No way will that fish bite at the end of that 5 seconds. So if I bring this up so you can see it, and I use this macro, and I'll use this up to 3 times, for 5 seconds after the last time that's used, the earliest the fish could bite is now. So if I used, if I use chum, I should be able to force that a little bit quicker. So I will use this up to 3 times, and it's not additive. It's not like if you use it 3 times, it's 15 seconds. It's 5 seconds after the last time you use a lure. So you heard that beep was there. That beep is me telling me that the grace period was over, and a fish bit at that exact same time. So I'll do that one more time so you can see without me talking. You see, I'll even do it twice, and no bite, but there will be a bite. There would be no bite until after this point. So that's why we have a grace period. The grace period basically lets you decide if you want to use the lure again. It helps with hidden fish. It helps with that. There is a proc message that says like, oh, you have a feeling you've attracted a large-sized fish or a small-jawed fish. That message is one that you don't want to overwrite, because it basically means that only fish that respond to powerful hook set, or only fish that respond to precision hook set, are going to bite, depending on the lure you use. And so they want to give you time to be able to react to that. before a fish actually bites. So that's what that grace period is about. So I hope that covers that for you, Zephyrin. So let me head back to my other account. Or my other character. And then we'll actually do some fishing. Oh boy, I fucked up. Fucked up. I got all the other prep fish for whale accidentally before Felania, so I guess I just gotta prep the swim bait and pray for the next window. Thanks, Carowin. My BRB socials and stream starting soon theme are all made by Atelier Bubble Tea, who is linked below. However, their website is currently down. They're aware of it. It will be fixed soon. Also, Grimnomancer, I know you followed about 10 minutes ago, but thank you. Alright, so what? Whale's not up until 8:50, right? Or 8:10? When is Whale up? Whale. 8:10 my time, so not for another hour. Plus, I think this character already has Whale. Yeah, Enderdina. I don't have a lot of the Endwalker fish on this guy. This guy's big fish is not a lot. I'm not even halfway to all of them yet, so get all this like bubble wrap, getting rid of all the little green pops. So we have a lot that we could do, and I plan to. So close to finish with my custom delivery achievements, and this new one is going to start to mess everything up. Oh, that's right, we do get a new custom delivery. Man, I was talking to somebody the night before the live letter. I think Zin, I think we were talking about it. And we were like, yeah, there's not going to be a ton of new fish. Like, we were expecting like 14 or something at the time. And, also, clean inventory. And I was like, yeah, there'll be like, I don't know, 14 fish or something, because we were going to get 8 new big fish and 6 new legendary fish. So the 8 big fish will come in patch 7.5. The 6 legendary fish will either come in 0.55 or 0.56. We haven't had a 0.56 since Stormblood, but the last time we had a 0.56 is when the big fish came. So we'll do one or the other on that one. I'm assuming it'll be 0.56. At this point, I don't want Outer Lenosha. I want Bronze Lake, because we're gonna go do Joan of Trout, I think. Yeah. And then ocean fishing. They were like, oh, hey, custom deliveries. And I was like, oh, cool. So we get 6 other new fish. And then they were like, ocean fishing. And I was just like, fuck. Which, I mean, it's good. It's good. We like ocean fishing here. So, having the Thavnir route, if I have to guess, the Thavnir route will be part of Ruby. Yeah, I was literally my wife was heading out the door, so I was seeing her off, and then I came back to, oh yeah, by the way, there's Thavnir for ocean fishing. I was like, oh crap, okay, Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I love fishing in these little, like, nooks here. Which I don't have... Yeah, I totally have nothing here. Alright, so we're at Fool's Falls for Joan of Trout. I still love the fact that on Team Craft, somebody went to all these different fishing holes and gave them, like, reviews and ratings. Oh, it's such a good idea. So, the new ocean fishing route, I'm expecting to be on the Ruby route because they have space on the Ruby route. If the Indigo route, we consider the Indigo route full, quote unquote, it'll probably be on the Ruby route. Apparently also the translations for Indigo and Ruby route are different in Japan. So like Japanese is like coastal routes, and then Ruby is like not coastal routes. So that's what makes me think that that we'll see the Thavner route on the Ruby route. So if you haven't unlocked Stormblood yet, please do so. I don't know if they'll actually require Endwalker. It'd be kind of weird if they do. I mean, it wouldn't be weird, but I don't know. Lola Hopsy, thank you for that follow. I feel like fishers knowing fishing spots have a buff. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. The Eorzea GeoGuessr was so easy because I just know all the fishing spots. Okay. Dress Up Darling VT. Raise his hand. Mr. Fruity Snacks. Yes. Down and back. I started fishing just a few days before Legends Day. What's the best place to start big fishing? Excellent question. So, it will partially depend on what level you are, but if you are... Cool. If you are at least level 50, or a little higher, ideally I would say a little higher, you can start doing the Beast of Brewer's Beacon and the Feast of Famine quest lines that unlock right after the level 50 job quest. You talk to Sisapu to start those. Those have you catch 8 different fish, 6 legendaries, 1 big, 1 rare common. I would definitely start there if you are brand new. The higher level you are, the easier it is, but it is definitely something that I would look at doing because it's really good. I just hit 97 purely on ocean fishing. Then yeah, go do Feast of Famine. The other things that I would do is make sure you've done your job quests up to at least this one. If you've done past this one, you're fine. If you haven't done this one, you're also fine, especially at level 97. But you really want to do up to level 65 because that gives you Patience 2, Mooch 2, and Double Hook, which are all critical skills for Fisher. So I would start there. Once you've done that, I would also, at the same time, make sure you unlock all the books that you need, all the ichthyological folklore books, unlock all of those, and then just start going for big fish. You can use like the Carby tracker, which is this. Also, Skunk Witch, I see that question. I'll get there. I'll get to you in a second. You start there, and make sure you have all those books, and just go ham on that. Just find fish that are up and go for it. If you ever have questions about fish, I have guides on a lot of them, but really you can just go and ask the fish cord, and the fish cord will probably have a ton of info for you as well. Dumb question, but I checked all the big fish I've gathered so far. 16 DT, 19 when I first started fishing. Is it good that I already have Hraesvelgur's tier? It's good that you have it because you've been able to, you know, mark that off of your list. Hraesvelgur's tier is not a fish that I would say is relatively difficult, but it's good you have it. But it's not necessarily one of those notorious fish, if that makes sense. Not to undermine it. You know, in the fish court, one of the things that we like is every fish is a big deal because we all have those fish that even the simple ones can take longer than normal. So it's great that you have it. Beast of Brews, Beacon, Feast of Famine, reward. You get 2. I think Beast of Brews Beacon has a title as well, right? No. I feel like it does. Oh yeah, the ambitious angler. Yeah, I could see it being like that too, if you maybe. Yeah, cabin keep permit is one of those fish that can take a while. It's a notoriously simple fish because it's just a straight up catch, single catch fish. Nothing too exciting about it, but it is kind of rare. No, the fishing hole next to Hraesvelgur's tier, so Hraesvelgur's tier is in Westmourne. In Halo is Problematicus and Lord of Lords. Those are notorious fish. You know, if I have the GP, I might be able to go to my Oceania alt and try for Sidereal Whale if I really want to put myself through a high ping whale. I'd probably do that on Sophia. I have to go check. I might need to go get some materials because my Oceania alt is behind. Very important question. How do you not forget to eat your food before a window? Yeah, so that's a really good question and a very simple answer. Don't put yourself in a position where you need to eat food to go for a window. The answer to that question is you meld. I know for a fact that the Teamcraft guides, the Teamcraft melds, or the balance melds, that's it, the balance melds for gathering, has been, they consulted with Teodo, who is like Teodo is a way more knowledgeable fisher than I am, way more experienced. He's been fishing way longer than I have too. I mean, he's been fishing since it was added in 2.3. Has had books of notebooks that he has just tracking everything. And I also did a video with him that you can check out on my YouTube channel. He was consulted with the people who did the balance meld recommendations, and they moved some perception onto the chest, I believe, so that the fisher tool can get gathering to be able to expand outwards. So if you want, just follow those melds. Right now you only need 4450, I believe. Yeah, 44.50. Oh, they caught it. They just caught Moonlight Guppy. Something that's fun is if you sit down while fishing and you are reeling in ferocious bites, those 3 exclamation points, which all but 2 big fish are. If it is going to be a successful catch, you will stand up from the seated position. If it slips, you will not stand up. So if you want to sit while fishing so you don't have to wait as long, you can. Do not sit during ocean fishing. It is about a 20% point loss. So don't sit during ocean fishing. You will lose about 20% points just due to sitting back down. I also wouldn't sit for Garliacthus or Ruby Dragon as well. Everything else should be okay. No, in Naboth Saw. Don't sit for Naboth Saw. Yeah, and we don't use release. You'll see that I don't even have release on my bar. Or release, because it's an unskippable animation. No, I think I missed the Moonlight Guppy window. Yeah, I'm a little bit late. Do I have Catastrophicizer? Nope. Do I have Mayfly is the next question. Nope. Let's see if we can find an interesting fish to do. I like Hailfinder. Hailfinder's fun. I enjoy Hailfinder a lot. No, I can get mayflies. I just don't want to get mayflies. I want to do a slightly more interesting fish than Catastrophicizer. Why are there some fish you don't sit for? So, when you are fishing and you are seated, like I was saying, you stand up whenever you catch a ferocious bite. When you sit back down, you can't do anything. And it is like about a second worth of time. I have a video on it for ocean fishing. Where's my balloon bugs? Red balloons, there you are. You lose about a second of time. And it can delay things, and it's really just a min-maxy thing for fish like Ruby Dragon, where you're going to be constantly reeling in ferocious bites. You don't want to be wasting, 20, 30, 40 seconds. That's like 2 casts that you could be getting in that window. You don't want to be wasting that time. Yeah, because you're mooching the fish. So you're constantly sitting and standing, and that's why we don't recommend it for ocean fishing as well, because in spectral currents you stand up for every catch. Doesn't matter if it's a ferocious bite or not. It's every catch you're standing, and sitting down after each of those catches loses you about 20% of your points. It's kind of a big deal that no one really notices. And it's really silly when you think about it. It's like, it is optimal to stand. And you're like, what? Yeah. When you're fishing, it makes more sense to stand up than to sit. On all of ocean fishing and all but 3. Yeah, you don't sit for 3 fish. Everything else you can. It's fine. Alright, so I'm going to go for Hailfinder here, because I really like Hailfinder. It's just a giant jellyfish, basically. So why is there goop on my water bottle? Oh, if those are from Fish Fest, you can deliver those to me, and I'll just drop them in the FC chest. Hail Finder is interesting because if you don't know this about fishing, like maybe you just started fishing over the weekend and you're like, man, how much cooler can fishing get? The answer is much cooler, because every fish has this guide intro, this little guide to it, and all of this is lore. This is all canonical lore. And it tells some real funny stories and some really weird things. So you can, if you like lore, look at the fish guide. You don't have to fish, you can look this up all online. But, oh, that's a glacial core? You can just, like, fish. Like, it just has all of these bits of information that you can read, and it's all, like, canonical lore. So... that's a good question. I don't think it will. I'm going to have to remove that from that playlist. Also, is Failfinder precision? Failfinder. It is precision. Okay, I was right. Twitch doesn't bug me. YouTube might yell at me at some point, and if it does, I'll just mute it. But is this another copyright? No, this is the concert. This should be flow. This should be fine. I'm getting like a billion pings here. That's a good point. I think Answers is fine. It's Dragon Song is the problem. I talked to Wrath. Wrath gave me a list of songs. I love lore, but I'm too weak. Well, it's a good thing that you can find a lot of this guide info online. But I think one of the things... There's two things that I like about fishing, outside of just the mechanics of it. The reason I like fishing so much is the lore, the story that it tells, and all those types of things. Like, those were the ones that, like, I like seeing the stories. The other thing is, I like to see where we can fish. Case in point, I'm in an icy canyon overlooking a frozen waterfall trying to catch a jellyfish. How, like, talk about frickin' whimsy. I'm all over that. I love that. I love those silly places that they decide to put fish because it's world building. There's so much world building that fishing provides that it's just ridiculous that it's all in fishing. So having weirder and wilder places to go fishing is always interesting for me. That's part of the reason why I like fishing in real life as well, is like I don't eat the fish. I actually don't like fish to eat. I don't like eating fish. But I love seeing like a pond or a fishing hole and go, what fish are in that? And then being able to actually go find out. And being able to like either look in or cast out and actually try and catch fish. I don't like fish, I just like fishing. Yeah, no, that's true. Chaos. You got me. And yeah, it is fun because like the map will, like, you don't really come down here. And if you do go to places, you're usually there for like a 30-second cutscene and then you're gone. Here, I've been here for like 4 or 5 minutes to catch Hailfinder. It gives you a chance to kind of look around and slow down, which is the original goal of fishing, as quoted by Yoshi P, that I can't find the source for right now, but I know that this is what it is. He's basically saying that they designed fishing to slow the player down so that they are in the environment to appreciate it. They open their mouths. I just imagine that all of our mounts are like insect and like carnivores, and they just open their mouth when they fly, and that's when they get their snacks. Was this like one of the dragons? Oh, it's part of Snowcloak and the Heretics. What else do we have? Oh, I guess Diamond Eye is back up. We could go to Diamond Eye. Reluctantly. It's Aligiri. I want Porta Pretoria. And again, thank you everyone for joining me today. If you have any questions about fishing in Final Fantasy XIV, or even fishing in real life, because I was totally doing that yesterday, please like throw it out in chat, and I will do my best to answer and or show you how to or whatever. Like, even if it's a specific fish, if that fish is up, I will just do a guide for you, like on the spot. So if you got them, ask them. Again, on Thursday, I will be doing a fish train. I don't know what exactly that fish train will entail at this moment, but it will be a fish train for a couple of hours on Thursday. All right, Diamond Eye is up during Clear Skies. Okay. Ultra Hex I love Stethacanthus. Pre 5.3 Stethacanthus was probably one of the most interestingly designed fish in the game. What was it like fly fishing for trout? So yeah, so for those who don't know, I fish in real life. I'm going into my 4th year, I think, of fishing. Last year I taught myself fly fishing. Well, I went to a class with my dad and then had to relearn how to fly fish because I sucked at casting. So yesterday, here in my state, they start stocking the local rivers and some lakes with hatchery-grown trout. And that stocking, I thought, started yesterday. And it will run until the Saturday after Easter, so like 3 weeks. And so anyways, I'm over at a local park, and I noticed it was a nice day yesterday. It was nice and warm, and it was sunny, and I noticed that there were fish jumping. I was like, oh, that's weird. I didn't think that they had stocked the river yet, and I hadn't thought, oh, maybe the fish, like, I didn't think it was trout. But anyways, I'm standing on the edge of this river looking at like 4 or 5 fish jumping, eating bugs on the surface, and this other guy is like, oh, you see the trout? And we start talking, and he thought like, oh yeah, no, they started stocking on the 17th. It's like, no, I thought it was today, and so we looked it up. No, they started stocking today, the 23rd. So yesterday, the water was still open, which means I could go fish. And I did. as soon as I realized that the waters were open and that there were trout active, it was like Pavlov's bell or something like that. I don't know. I just was like, went to my wife and was like, I'm going to go home and get my fishing stuff. Do you want to come? Or no? I was like, we're doing this. I am doing this right now. And so we went back home, and I was back at the thing like within 30 minutes, and got my fly rod all set up, which I had my fly rod loaded. My reel at least was loaded with somewhat fresh leader from my trip to Vermont in September when I went fly fishing there. But I got everything set up. I put on my waders even to go do this, and then I went out and I went fit, and I just literally, there was like this like mom and like her daughter and then her daughter's daughter. I don't know. There's some family sitting on the bench near this river, and I just walk right by them in these big brown waders, and I just walk right by them. They're talking, and I just start splashing right into the water, and I think they looked like I was crazy. Walked away around so that I didn't disturb where the trout were, and then I just started casting out, and it was a gorgeous time to go fishing, because the water was a good temperature. It was so nice. And so I started casting. It took me a couple of casts to get back into the rhythm, but once I did, I was able to cast right out to where the trout were, let it go by, and within, I think, 5 casts, I had my first trout bite, and that was the one that I posted on Blue Sky. Was that first trout that I caught, and that was probably like 1.5 pounds, but it was 15 inches, which is the longest fish that I've ever caught. And it took me like a minute to bring that guy in, because he was way downriver, and I was being really careful because I didn't know the tension. I had never had a fish this large on my fly line. So I had to be really careful because I didn't know if my knots were good and all that stuff still. So I had to be very careful. But I reeled this in, and I did that, and then I just stayed there for like another 2 hours, and I got a second bite, like maybe 10-15 minutes later. It slipped, and then I got a third bite right before I left. I was like, cool, I got 3 bites, I got 2 catches, I'm ending on a catch, and I went home. And as I was walking back to my car, these 2 women started arguing and yelling at each other, and the police were called, and it kind of ruined the moment for me, but whatever. Anyways, fishing in real life, absolute one of my favorite things to do now, because it's so relaxing, especially now that I have gear that lets me walk into the middle of a river. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the drama was about. I think it was because one woman didn't have her dog leashed, and it's a leashed dog park. Or it's a leashed dog, park, or there's a separation there. It's not a dog park that I was at, it was a park. And I guess one woman was like really offended by the fact. I don't know. It was understandable why both sides of this argument were upset, but they were just really loud. I was like, please. Hey, Nexus. Yeah. I really like going for rainbows. I know my state has some brook trout somewhere nearby. I don't think they're too far from me. I'll have to go look again, but I want to go try for some brookies at some point, this summer. Since I am with a little bit of ample free time right now, I hope to, try and get out a little bit more. There's a part of the river, same river that I was casting in yesterday, except downriver. I'll probably go and I can walk down there and catch trout, so I'll probably do that a few times after the season opens in a couple of weeks. See, has there been an update recently? Update to what? It's a long bite. That's probably a Pearl Eye. Where are we gonna go after Diamond Eye? We could go to a Span. So we can go get a record-sized Aether Chemical. Because that'll be 16 to 20. That'll be 12 minutes. With Ambitious Lure, I think. Do I have Chimera Worm? I do. Check here. Because I think... Yeah, weak, strong. You're not on. Two. Yeah, if you drop a Star Eater... Oh wait, hold on, I'm looking at the wrong one. You drop a Star Eater. So 23 to 24. Yeah, okay, we can use Ambitious Lure on those. See if we can go get like a record-sized fish. Oh, yeah. Jazzy's got you there. Oh, I guess I should also go... Actually, you know what? No. We're going to go prep for Whale, because I forgot about that. I'll switch over to Sophia. And get ready for Whale, because we have like 23 minutes or something for that. 24 minutes. So if you want to come join me, we'll be on Sophia for at least Sidereal Whale. And this is also where I hope I have Stardust. I might have to raid the aquarium for bait. They didn't, that's always been the case, but usually you have, I don't know if it's just the Oceania server, but like it was always that way, specifically. I should say, I don't think it was just the Oceania, I think it was all of them at one point, but no, it's just Oceania now. This is our last cast, by the way. Alright, no Diamond Eye. That's fine. Let's return to Limpsa. And I will jump over to Sophia. Let's see. Alright, be right back. Sometimes in the morning I'll jump to Elemental and I'll do Mahjong on with my Tonberry ult. Excuse me. Yeah, it's only for Oceania. Maybe we'll see at FanFest if they announce that they're going to do the see if they're going to remove all the restrictions and make it fully cross-world. I mean, they hinted that they were talking about you know, how they're going to address connectivity stuff, I would not be surprised if they're like, hey, we're doing cloud servers now. Oh, I do not have enough Stardust. I should now have enough Stardust. Hold on. Script exchange. This guy just completed Endwalker, so we do not have much at all. Bow to the Aya. Yeah. I think... I think they should have like a cross PF, cross DCPF. I think cross region visiting is fine. Or cross inner region, so like all of NA can go to each other, all of EU can go to each other. I don't know, I'm still kind of, on one hand I'm like, yeah, it's going to be great to be able to take one character and go to all of the servers. But on the other hand, there's a huge issue with that also as well. Experiencing Guild Wars 2 style mega servers made me want them. Yeah, the Guild Wars 2 style mega servers are really nice. Yeah, Mana and Aether are rough, but the thing is, I don't. The thing that I see is cross region data center travel, like letting NA go to EU, EU go to NA, NA go to JP. The argument around like cultural problems comes up, which I think is an incredibly valid problem that is going to require a lot of work and moderating to smooth over. But what we're seeing within the regions is like Light is like the super populated one for all the visitors, and Aether is all for raiding, and I feel like that's only going to get worse if they open it all up. Which is great for the game, not great for the smaller communities. I just want to do raid PFs while on my home world. You can do raid PFs on your home world. There's what's the line? Everyone from Crystal goes to Aether to raid with other people from Crystal. Like, I did all of the Shadowbringers raiding on Crystal. It was fine. I even PF'd on Crystal, and this was back in Shadowbringers, and it was fine. And it's just gotten so much worse over, well, not even just the course of Dawntrail. I mean, ever since it started back in Endwalker, it's very much a problem of our own making, and it just snowballed. And so what I think is if they open up that to everybody and open up full cross regions, there needs to be some more limitations that sends people back to their home world to, one, make it so that those servers aren't consistently congested, but two, also encourage people to actually come and do stuff on their home world. Crystal raiding was fine. It was not bad. It was bad because people said it was bad, and that was just a lie. Like, could you have found better raiding on like Aether? Probably, because you had people who raided more often, but you could still do raiding on Crystal. It was fine. Anyways, now I'm going for EVs. Yeah, like that was great. The other thing that they could do is like cross DCPFs, that will solve that, because now people can stay on their home server and not have to go to the other servers. Like, that would be great. Yeah, I like the ideas of servers. Don't get me wrong. I think it is just a nice, easy way to organize everything, but it's also very much now moving into like the old school territory, even though we still see it for a lot of games now, especially like Asian MMOs. We see like the standardized, like siloed servers. I still think that those are good, because part of the reason that MMOs are so powerful in, you know, what they have and what they do is oh, that's all our EBs. Okay. Part is because of the community. And they don't have, when you have those siloed servers, you start building communities. But the thing is, the community doesn't necessarily carry a good experience all the time if there's nobody there, like when we saw with early Dynamis or early Sophia. And so they would need to add, I think someone's pointing out, like a hometown bonus or something like that, or better first time bonuses. Yeah. Mishmax. Like, those would be better. Like, they need to have that to encourage you to basically stay or go back to your server. But I also come from a huge, like, community background. Like, I've always loved doing community management stuff. I've always loved building communities within those silos. And so it is just really annoying to have a lot of those tools removed. Ah, crap. A lot of those, like, tools and encouragements to be able to do that removed when it's like, oh yeah, everyone's just gonna go to Aether. See, I don't kick anybody from PF if I don't see. Here's the thing, like, I won't kick anyone from PF if I host a PF, which I don't do it very often, for, you know, not fishing. But I don't care which world you're from. I don't care if you're like a machinist or not. I know that machinist gets a little bit flack. I'm not going to kick you just because you're a machinist or something. Like, if you can play the job, play the job. You're gonna get kicked if you don't know how to play the job. I don't mind machinists. I do not. There is no class on this that I'll be like, oh nope, you're in our party, can't do it. Like, I can understand if it's like day one and they don't have like the newest gear, like the newest crafted gear. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're gonna make this a little harder for us. But also, like, I feel like if you think that if we're still so scared of seeing another living liquid that you're not bringing in certain classes because you're worried about the DPS, then that's a you problem. Yeah, Fupoof. That's basically it. I'd rather people play their current, like, what they're comfortable with, than not play anything, and then play something that they're not comfortable with. This also not from the fact that I usually like playing the bad classes. Hunt Bronco, I am currently going for Sidereal Whale, which will be up in about 16 minutes. Right? Where are you? 12 minutes. Hello, Warrior Kalia. Yeah, part of the fun of MNOs is navigating the fight with different classes and kits and flavors of Fell Cleaves. As somebody who's been playing a warrior a lot during Dawn Trail, gotta love my Fell Cleave flavors. I'm going to be interested if they do new jobs. I don't remember if they said that there's going to be a new job. I don't know, because they've hinted that they're not going to raise the level cap. And I think we know that we're not going to get a new race. So I don't... At least one new job? Okay. Let it be Geomancer. Wait, who do we need a job for still? Probably healer, I would guess. They're not. I don't think they're going to reveal everything in 1 month. I don't think NA FanFest is going to say everything. On the other hand, I also feel like they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to not raise the level cap and do a horizontal progression type system, or they're going to do a new system. They're going to bring back cross classes as a progression system. That's my guess. Now, how cross-classing will work for Fisher, I don't know. I have my own thoughts on what I'd love to see for Fisher, but yeah. NA is kind of like the window shopping. EU gets a little bit more detail on some of it, and then JP, they're like, here's everything. At last we can mine for fish. Beastmaster is 755, 756, I think. So, no, it's not going to be for a couple more months. Yeah, rolls at FanFest 1. So we'll probably know if it's like a healer or Fizz range. The real important thing, though, that we need to learn coming out of FanFest is who's going to be the new Mahjong voices. This is, this is important information that we need to know. Healer never getting another job. It's been a 10,000 years. I don't know. I mean, we could do... There's what? No, I bet you it could be Fizz ranged. Now that I look at this, I bet you it'll be a Fizz ranged, like Cannoneer or something, Arbalist, or Alchemist for some reason is going to be a Fizz ranged. Lamol Mahjong. I think Xenos Mahjong would be really funny. I don't know though. Like, I don't think any of them. I can't think of anybody who will be better than Medum. Like, how can? Yes, Fiend would be good. Fatal. I could see all the Arcadian fighters getting their own Mahjong things. That would be wild. We really need another overly complicated job. I would love another overly complicated job. I was kind of hoping Beastmaster would be that, but I don't think it will be. But I'm also pretty happy with what I'm seeing with Beastmaster already, so I'm like not complaining too much. We already have Bakul Jaja. some of my favorite lines for Bakul Jaja are his mahjong lines. I even told the voice actor Javier, when he was at Gateway Fate this year, I was even like, hey, I love how your interpretation of this character, but I really love how you interpret him in mahjong. And it turns out Javier is like actually interested in mahjong as well. Yeah, I know Beastmaster will be another solo job like Blue, which I appreciate because I like solo classes like that. It felt very Pokemon-ish. DJ Fina. Alphina. Yes, I will say learning how to play mahjong would be useful. We'll also totally be doing mahjong next week. I think we do Korvac. I think they said that we'll get access to the ARR dungeons. But I don't play Pokemon, but I really kind of like the concept of Beastmaster. I think, yeah, jobs have gotten a bit too simplified. I don't think they're as bad as they could be. Let's be honest. We could have really, really simplified jobs. I think we've started to see desimplification through, some of these combat, like some of the new raids and stuff. And I'm saying this from somebody who has not done Savage, at least this expansion. I feel like we've seen a little bit more complication added into that, but I would love to see maybe not necessarily more complication. I really just want to see more, what's the word I'm looking for? Depth. That's it. Hunnit, did I ever play Final Fantasy XI? I did. I did play Final Fantasy XI for... let's see. Does it tell me how long I've played Final Fantasy XI? That's a great question. Yeah, about 24 hours I've played it. So, not a ton. I definitely did not hit Beastmaster in Final Fantasy XI. I was a... rogue? Thief? Sword and dagger dude. Can't remember. I also spent a lot of time fishing. FF11 does have fishing, and it's actually kind of fun. They have a, shoot, was it 10-day or 20-day? They have a cooldown period from when you first create a character that you can only catch 10 fish a day. And then after that, it's raised to 200. No, I was definitely thief something. Let me look. Starter jobs, Final Fantasy 11. Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 11. Perfect. This is precisely what I needed at just the right time. However, my GP is going to be screwed, but that's okay. Yes, I was a thief. I don't think I got a secondary. And if I did, it would have been... What would be my secondary? White Mage? Oh, Corsair could be the other Fizz ranged if we get a Fizz range. Yeah. Yeah, you could only get 10 fish a day for the first 10 or 20 days or something. Yep. Like the 11 fishing was interesting. It was really slow to start. Okay, cool. I'm not getting a memory leak. Yeah, the Lushang fishing rod. A friend of mine gave me one of those on my first character, and then I made a second character where all of my friends were playing, and never got the Lushang after that. But I did learn a lot. FF11 is one of those, like, if I really, really get burned out on 14 and I need something within Final Fantasy to play that's an MMO, I'll probably play 11. I am not a fan of turn-based games, so a lot of the Final Fantasy games I'm not super interested in. See, do you run and hide, or you can swap chops? So fishing was a command. So you would just like literally type /fish, and then you'd pull out a rod and cast out. Like your rod was slotted into your ranged weapon or something like that, and the bait was ammo. So when I was a thief, because I was running melee, I had a macro set up that I would just press and it'd be like, phew. But yeah. Alright, Shiniero Whale is now up. Give myself a little bit of latency here. Sorry for the yawn. There was not a lot of info in Final Fantasy XI fishing, no. I actually had to do a lot of research into confirming the cooldown after creating a character for fishing, because there was so little consistent information. Yeah, BDO had AFK fishing, or active fishing, but the AFK one was in this one specific town, and you would you'd basically just AFK, and it was almost like, I don't know, I forget exactly how it worked, but it was slow, but you was like decent money. I really like Guild Wars 2 fishing. That one's pretty good if you're like looking for an MMO fishing. That one's really good. That one highlights a lot of social aspect of fishing. Well, that sucked. And then a crate comes over and kills you, yeah. Try it. Oh, I did get a Philania at least once. Okay, now I'm remembering these. So, yeah, there's, I think, what other MMOs I liked. I liked the new fishing system in Monster Hunter Wilds. I am a big Monster Hunter fan. Though I haven't played the, I haven't been playing as much recently as I should be. But their new fishing system in Wilds was pretty good. It's not much different than the old fishing systems, but it did have a little bit more to it, which was nice. Nope. So my treasure hunts finally got all their Yan mounts. We're at a loss of what to do. Yeah, ocean fishing. You do ocean fishing. Yeah, we'll do this. Genuinely, like I was saying at the start of the stream, as somebody who has been, you know, watching fishing happen, and it's how it comes and goes since, like, at least actively since Shadowbringers. It's the, like, 7.41 and later. After that is when people really start turning up to fish. Usually because they just run out of things to do. And so they finally just go like, oh, well, it's time to go get caught up on all the fish. And they do. And so right now we're seeing a big uptick in people who are fishing. So I'll probably be more active with my events and stuff even. As we, you know, as we go into the expansion. And then it peaks obviously at the expansion launch when everyone's leveling Fisher, trying to figure out what the new scripts are, all that stuff. And then it dies off until 7.4 again. Well, not like die off. Like it's still pretty active, and it's still pretty. It's relatively level. Like if I want to get like corporate talk, like year on year, it's a little bit lower in the second year than the first year of the expansion, but I don't know. It's a fun little observation that I've picked up, you know, over the years of doing this. I've been doing guides for 5.5 years now. Train on. Throw that out, toss that out. But, so hi everyone and welcome in. If you are just joining us, my name is Fruity Snacks, and if you're here, you're watching me big fish in Final Fantasy XIV, and if you're like, what, how does this work? Just let me know. Ask any questions. If you, this past weekend, we just had our Day of Legends, which is well, technically it's the first time that we've had all 30 legendary fish available in 24 hours, and now a lot of people are like, hey, wait, what about these big fish? Like, what about these, what else can I catch? Oh crap, that's definitely an Eevee. So if you are just getting started big fishing, or if you are curious about it or have questions relating to it, ask them. And I will do my best to answer. I may even be able to show you. In either chat. I see, you know, people in both YouTube and Twitch. So, I've been seriously fishing. Well, I started fishing before Shadowbringers, but I really picked up in Shadowbringers. My GP's doing okay. I think I'm being a little too conservative with it because of just because it's a lower threshold that I have on this guy. Yeah, 874 compared to my usual 1100. Which is fine. Wait. I have enough GP I have enough gathering for this, right? I should. Browser jump scare. Yeah, 3,300 for legendaries. Oh, I even have enough for the I have enough for Endwalker as well, or Dawn Trail starting ones too. Okay, cool. This ult isn't melded. This ult just has Thunder Yards. So it's good enough for, like I was saying, like the first batch of Big Fish and Dawn Trail whenever this character gets there. Right now I'm literally at 6.1. I will probably set the goal to have all of the post-expansion stuff for Endwalker done by the start of 8.0. I usually have at least one character lag a little behind, just because it's easier for me to then understand, you know, how leveling and progression happens, you know, later on for newer players and stuff like that. So that'll probably end up being this character. Pop that, go. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I just got really congested. We've had massive weather swings where I live right now, and it's been like, it was 60, 70 yesterday. It was 30 today. It'll swing back up to 70 on Thursday. It's going absolutely bonkers on my sinuses right now. Try Primal. If you're gonna queue for Mahjong, try Primal today, because they have an event starting in like an hour or two. Whoops, was not paying attention. I thought that was my other one. I am the East Coast. Yeah, I'm in Northeast. Born and raised. Well, okay, technically I was born in the Midwest, but we don't talk about that. Raised in the Northeast. We can do this, and do that. You're right. I did forget about that. Is that we do have a new cosmic exploration coming out in 751. I got a little. If anyone who's known me and talking about cosmic, I did not enjoy Oasis, and I'm a little frustrated with cosmic right now. It's fine. It's just. It's less of a I'm frustrated with it and more of a frustrated of what it could have been. But if Primal isn't, maybe try Crystal. That's the last place. I mean, that would be the only other place that would have a queue. We also just might be at that point in time when, okay, well, that's my last cast. I'm not going to be able to get a Horizon event before 4. That'd be the last place I'd check. All right, back to Crystal. Yeah, I like going for whale when I just don't do any prep for it. It's a whale lot easier, and it's way more fun too because it's just. I think I talked about this at some point. You know what makes fish interesting, and some of that is being able to have to like manage your resources, you know, manage your GP, manage your angler's arts, you know, you have that time crunch to do it. So I think going for sidereal whale is way more engaging and way more interesting when you don't jail. Skooma Cat, hello Fruity Snacks, I have a question. Is there an online resource devoted to results of big fish desynthesis? Yes, there is. There is a massive spreadsheet that's maintained by, I think it was originally created by a guy named Purple, but is maintained by Teodo Teun. If you're in the fish cord, it's in resources, FF4 overworld resources. Oh, wait, hold on. I was going to see if I can quickly jump over to Deepont. I know some big fish drop glam/rare ingredients. I wonder if there's a full list somewhere. Which fish drop what? Yeah, that's all in the fish cord. I feel like I should take the Starlight music out, because it just feels out of place when the Easter event's going on. I have like 3 minutes on Deepont. Oh wait, no I don't. I have fish eyes. What am I thinking? We'll just go do, we'll fish eyes Deepont. Oh yeah, we do need papaya. That's what we should put on. Where are you, papaya? Except I want the demastered version because I like that one the most. Do I have Deepon? Nope. The wiki also has it, yeah. But the thing is, they've been changing the fish descents, so I think like the red hammerhead in Yulemore doesn't give a blue spirit hammer anymore. For example, I'm not on Oceania anymore. I don't need this internet delay. Game, please. Thank you. This is precision hook set for sure. Is this a good precision hook set fish? Great question. How often does Oath fish bite on this? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just see what happens. I'm on limited time anyways, so why wait? Excuse me. Oh, is Durdina up? Did I miss Durdina? Go for Rakshasa after this too. Nah, I'd only have a few minutes for that one. Papaya. I should have gone for Klabao on this slap. See, the Woven Oath is an interesting fishing hole because it has 2 really long bites in Dark Dweller and Deepont. And then it has a bunch of short bites. And they all bite relatively the same, like within a few % of each other. And it's almost like if I wasn't short on time and needed to just get a slap out, I would probably have gone for the Dark Dweller, because then I would be getting a failure state quicker, as in I would be getting that Deepont or the Klabao quicker because it's a really quick bite. This is probably Dark Dweller, or yeah, that's the Dark Dweller. We'll just get a cast out. When you're looking at your slap targets, usually you go for like what the most common bite is. But Shadowbringers has a few interesting fishing holes where they're all pretty good slap targets, and then it just comes down to which one bites quicker, and then you don't slap that one because you want to fail the cast faster. And that's why, in this case, I probably should have slapped that bite, which was a Dark Dweller. Oh, it's in an hour, okay. Okay. I think this guy has Dردina anyways, so I'm not really... But Dردina is fun. Gondola Lavore is coming up. Oh, could do Naboth Saw, Bloodtail Zombie. Do I have Bloodtail Zombie? That's a great question. No. Lord of Lords is coming up. Let's go for Bloodtail Zombie. This one's a weird one that I haven't done recently, so I want to get more familiar with it. I mean, if you're only with some of these Dawn Trail fish, if you're only waiting 6 hours, that's pretty darn good. Is that Purse? I think Purse is on the 14-day cooldown. It's either that or Datniotes. Which we still have... Because we know... Oh, Esperance Carp. Is it really on that 14-day cooldown? Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the 7.4 fish just have... The thing is, like... The downtimes aren't bad, it's just that they're all at one time. Purse withstanding. I liked it when we confirmed Datniotes, Datnioti Aeroplanos' conditions, and I was looking at like the numbers ahead of time, like the schedule, and I was looking like, I don't know, 5 years into the future, and it was like, oh man, this year Datniotes has a 48-day downtime. That's like the longest one that we ever expected. Let me get out of this one now. We were like, oh man, 48-day downtime. That's like one of the longest downtimes that ever could happen. Because I think 48 days, 49 days, we weren't expecting until 2152 with Cinder Surprise. I say that like someone's going to be around in 2152 for that, but that was like one of those things. And then as Purse started getting narrowed down further and further, I was looking at the times that it could be, like at the conditions, and I was like, oh, okay, here's the good ones, here's the bad ones. I'm like, here's your 3 timelines, pick one. And it picked literally the worst timeline. Not that the other timelines were any better, but they were, instead of 4 times longer than average, they were only 2 times longer than average. Oh no, not 52, 2152. Yeah. Sorry, Lantern Marimo. You open at 8 and close at 12, okay. Man, if I'm alive in 2152, I'll be really proud of myself. At this point, I might just stay. I wouldn't be surprised if I somehow managed to keep myself alive that long out of pure spite. Oh, cool. Got a balloon frog like right at the start there. But yeah, no, the 7.4 fish were all very big downtime. But the thing is, like, they're all big downtime fish, but they were never higher than the previous averages with the exception of purse. Don't think this is it. No, because red tail is the quicker bite. Yeah, red tail is the quicker bite. I have a see. Yeah, by what 2152 will be, I don't know, Final Fantasy 14 50.0 or something like that. I think by then we'll be into our 30s on the 14 on Final Fantasies. Bag of treasure. I don't know. I every time we go into an expansion, so like starting around now, I'm always nervous about them doing something to drastically change fishing to be less of what it is now. Always concerned about that. Because a lot of the community and community events was built around the ambiguity and the obfuscation, the obscurity of fishing. Like, that's why this community was built. This is probably Bloodtail Zombie. Might not be, but this is more likely to be Bloodtail Zombie than the other cast. And so I'm always spooked every time there's an expansion, because I'm always worried that they're going to reduce that, that obscurity to the point where we don't really, like, we lose discovery. That's my greatest fear, is that we lose that discovery period. And Dawn Trail is probably the first time that obfuscation, thank you. I can't pronounce words. But Dawn Trail is the first time in a while that I have seen things that they're doing with fishing. Like, they gave fishing a ton of thought. They gave hook sets, like, their whole thing in the guides. They started relying on those. They've added some, like some of the fish they've added. Lures. I am now hopefully not going to be biting my tongue and kicking myself later for saying this, but I'm feeling very confident that they've kind of just come to be like, fishing is its own thing. It can be its own thing. It doesn't need to follow all the other designs, and we can just kind of do what we want with it in that weird way and keep it unique and keep it weird. What do you need? That would be the turn in for Minago, I guess. Yep. Yeah, and the lures are just wild. So I think with that whole thing, I'm feeling okay going into 8.0 that we're not going to see a negative change, at least towards like discovery. I think that is, again, my biggest concern, is that we'll lose the discovery period. That's like the most unique thing about fishing, period, in basically the entire game industry when you think about it. I can't think of another game that has that level of community involvement and willingness to go find these things. And yeah, like, they added the lures. They're doubling down on all those types of things. And so maybe 8.0 won't be as good as Dawn Trail, but I don't think it's going to be worse. I hope, at least. Knock on, wood, spit and turn in a corner. Turn in a corner. Turn in a circle. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not going to go for Rex, because I'll get him when I'm doing Garliacthus. Blue Corpse is an easy pickup. Undecided is probably an easy pickup. That's right outside, too. Do I have any midges? Nope. Do I have a merchant that sells? Hello, do you sell midge larva? Nope. We'll just go to Kagane. I know we have it there. I'm not surprised that it's only used in a handful of fish. I mean, I think we've had at least, I think every patch has had one big fish use it, and that seems fine to me. The thing that I would really like to see come 7.5 whatever, when the legendary fish come, is an intuition fish that is also a hidden fish. I think that would be interesting, and that, or could be interesting for fish. Good night, Nex. Have a wonderful sleep. Please enjoy your time. Where was I going? Undecided, that's right. Thanks for watching. Kyoto Somo. For ocean fishing, is it worth using ambitious lure to try and trigger spectral faster in order to hunt for fabled fish on the log, or is it better to just chum? That's a good question. It depends. If your only target is the fabled fish, then yeah, you should technically do anything that you can to be able to get to, you know, the spectral current. I know somebody else in the Twitch chat will be able to probably better answer that question for me. But I would say yes in some cases, but also really only when the spectral fish is probably in like the subdominant bite type of the fishing hole. So yeah, you can definitely do that to help. I personally would, but I'm also not I'm not sure I would be the best person to answer that question, specifically because I typically don't use the lures, but that is purely because I'm going for other things, not because it's bad or anything. Sorry, lures when ocean fishing. Oh, do I already have this one? No. More water here. Gotta hydrate. Most of the ocean fishing holes, it seems like, is removing it. It definitely does. Like I'm looking at like the Silidales. I probably would. I don't think I would. I don't think I would in the Northern Strait, but there are people who have definitely done like the math way more often, or at least way deeper. But from the way that I use the lures, if I am short on time and I am very focused on getting a one specific bite type and making the best use of that time, like I am ocean fishing when I specifically want to go for fabled fish, then yes, I will use lures. But if you are going for other things as well, you might not want to use lures because the lures will then block you from certain things. What about an int window and the big fish bites off of a mooched hidden fish? No, that'd be fine too. Like Giga Giant Snakehead could be, I mean, that's an intuition fish. And it's mooched. Like, you need the... No, hold on. Giga Giant would be the good example there. What would be that? Or like, yeah, there you go. Like Crinchala, Miyaka in the Deucebun Bank. That one could be a potential mooch. I could see that where it'd be like, you have to get intuition and then mooch the Kren to actually, you know, be able to go for the fish. That would be interesting. I would accept that. But what I'm really talking about is an intuition fish that also has to have lure tied to it. I think could be fun. Yeah, I think if you're going to be using Chum Kyoto with it too, like that wouldn't... The Chum would make it that you're taking longer per cast, but I don't necessarily think that would be a bad thing. I would look up the Teamcraft guides and the fabled fish guides written by Toyoto Teiyun. Those, I think he's updated those. Those will be able to help you kind of better target. All of Toyoto's guides on ocean fishing will help you better target the fabled fish for sure. So I got to turn bumping my earbuds, and that keeps turning up the sound. Let's see, the Undecided is now closed because I showed up late. What's the weather like? Hold on. I think I already have... Now I say this. I think I already have... I do have Xenocanthus. Okay, we won't do you. Go do Junkmonger, I guess. Judge Ray's up in 13. 1,000-Year Itch is up for another 10. No, do I have Brute Leeches on me? Can I quickly go grab... I do. Let's see if we can quickly grab Bishop Fish. Low priority question. I'm very curious to hear what you hope to see in 8.0 fishing. More of what they're doing in Dawn Trail. It depends. It's very hard to make a guess on what we'll see in 8.0 because there's been hints that they're going to change like how like progression works and stuff. Like I think there was a comment that they're not going to raise the level cap to 110, but they might. So I really want to see, though, I don't want to see new skills. I want to see stances. I want us to... I would like to see like a semi-permanent buff that we can assign to ourselves somehow, so that when we're in, I don't know, it's the idea is changing this stance right here, like changing this stance. We change how this works, and that affects our fishing somehow. And it has plus and minuses. That's the big thing, is that there's a plus and a minus to it. So like if you're in like one of those stances, maybe all your skills cost half as much GP, but your GP regenerates 3 times slower or something like that. fish are less likely to slip, but they take twice as long to bite. Like those types of, like that's the type of thing that I'm looking for that would give us some like variety on like which stance should I use for this fish, what should I do this, and just adds depth without necessarily adding complexity. Okay, easy bishop fish. That's kind of what I would like to see, is something like that. Yeah, they could go to level 110. But also they keep talking about like the next 10 years, and you can't just keep adding new levels. Like that's a problem that like I know WoW had, and a lot of MMOs have, is, you know, you just keep raising the level cap, and then it just takes longer and longer to get to the level cap the later you start playing the game. And then they're like, okay, well then now how do you make it easier for people to get there? If they say we stop at level 100 and then add a new leveling system, not necessarily prestiging, but like, I mean, we have other leveling systems in Eureka and Baja and Occult Crescent. If they do something else for that for each of the classes, like either through specializations or cross-class abilities or skill trees or whatever, like there's a variety of options they can do that. You now have a cutoff point and saying, all right, once you're level 100, you can now do all this content as you get there, but then you can specialize outwards. So I feel like they should start going slightly more horizontal in the progression rather than vertical, but that's just me. I think there's a lot of options that they have. Yes, Guild Wars 2 does horizontal progression. I don't know if I want the Guild Wars 2 model though. 9.0 stat squish for sure. I'm waiting for one for gatherers specifically. But part of the reason we got a stat squish was less of the numbers getting big and more of a networking issue. Oh, we're at that weird time of the day when there's not a lot of fish. Hold on, do I have spinnerbait on me? Does the aquarium have spinnerbait is the next question. I think they do. I think we do. Let's go to it. Hold on. And yeah, Guild Wars 2. I like Guild Wars 2 mastery system. I don't think it would fit for Final Fantasy. Just thematically, I don't think it would work. I could see them doing something with materia, because that's like a very core Final Fantasy thing. Okay, come and meet me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Of course I say that. How long is Fairy Queen up for? 4 minutes. Okay, maybe we aren't doing Fairy Queen. I could see them doing something related around materia, maybe. Like if I had to make a guess of like, okay, where are they going to add another progression? I would put it into materia. Do something with materia of some sort. Like special materia, black materia, or whatever it is that was in 7 or whatever. Unrelated, but the little fish for your chat sensor fascinates me. There's something about his little face that I love. That's Philip the lumpfish. He's the guardian of chat. He's just always an amazement. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try not to... I don't necessarily want to be like that guy who sits there and is like, I'm going to say what the game needs to do, and then get upset when they don't do what I think they need to do, because it's not my game. They can do whatever the hell they want. I'm trying to figure out how better to say, like, what am I looking for with fishing, like, to do rather than giving solutions. And I think, like, the same thing is better for like, combat classes as well. Like, I want to have more customization when I approach fishing. Like, I want to be able to have to decide, do I want to have these... Now, what is it? What's the words that I want to use? I want drawbacks, I think is probably the best way to put it, because, like, when you look at all of these skills that we have for Fisher, there's never a drawback to using them. You can make the argument that with Ambitious Lure, obviously, precision hooks at fish are less likely to bite. That is a drawback, and the opposite is true with Modest Lure. You have Patience 2, which has a drawback of inefficient hooking, but it's easily nullified by using the hook set, and we have so much GP that it doesn't really matter. So I want something that has drawbacks to make me stop and think and go, is this worth it? Is this skill worth it for me to use? I want that level of decision making when it comes to fishing. And so, like I was saying, the idea of, like, oh, yeah, your skills, you know, maybe your skills recharge twice as fast, but fish bite twice as slow. Like, is this fishing hole going to benefit from that? Like, is there a way that I can make this work, or should I try something else, or should I not use a stance at all? Like, those are all the things that I want more decision making, but I don't need it to be complicated. I just need to be like, okay, which color, like, I don't want it to be like, oh, which color plate am I going to use, and they're all the same plate and just different colors. It's like, okay, which utensil should I be using? But I don't need to be like, okay, which utensil am I using, and if I get it wrong, I'm wrong. That's the thing that I'm looking for, is those levels of decision. That's what I want to see. Those are the decisions that I want to be making, because that's engaging to me. So I think if you're thinking about, like, or even having a conversation with your friends or on the forums or whatever, and you're like, this is what, like, you know, what do you want to see in 8.0? You don't want to be like, oh, I want to see, like, super special materia. You probably want to be like, I want to be doing these things with my class. I want to be able to do, you know, like, I want to be like, what do I want to be doing? And then let Square Enix see that feedback and go, this is what they want to do. How can we make this fun? That's how you create actionable feedback for game developers. Do I have Ninja Beta? I somehow don't have Ninja Beta. Is this going to be a long window? Yes, it is. So we'll do Midge. Let's get some midges. Do I have Desynth unlocked on this character? No. No, I do not. See, the drawbacks to Patience in 2 don't matter so much when the fish doesn't even need it. I think that there's a reason so many people expect to need Patience 2 or Big Fish, because it seems to have some built-in drawbacks that you have to overcome by using it right, and that feels like the thing you need to overcome with big fishing. Yeah. I mean, actually, the one thing that I would really like to see... I choose the wrong direction every time in Mordona. I would like to see a little bit more consistency in the descriptions of the tooltips. They are right now consistent, but, like, there's large size fish and powerful hook set and stuff, and it's like, I think it's as good as it can be right now, but it would be cooler if it was clearer. because we still have to push for a lot of like. I still see a lot of confusion around how everything works. So having some clarity on that would be nicer. $18 is what I'm looking for. Okay. Bum. I need to get assassin betas, and I'll store those until 1800. Still wild to me that the 14 social accounts acknowledged the legendary day over the weekend. They don't often do that, and like I don't have any expectations that they do. Like this isn't me saying, oh, they should do it more often. They can do it however much they want, but it always surprises me when it comes up, because it's always like it's always something kind of on the side. It is the first, well, it's not the first time it's been, I don't know if it's the first time that it's happened. Well, and Calf had an answer for that earlier, and I can't remember where Calf's response was. Let me look. There hasn't been anything shorter since April 2024. So in like the past 2 years that we've been looking, or someone's been looking, this is the first time that it's been under 24 hours. So we haven't really been looking a lot. I don't really know if anyone feels like doing the work right now to go find out when all the other ones were beforehand. But yeah, this is the first time in at least 2 years of looking that it's been under 24 hours. The last one was about 12 months ago, May of last year, and it was 27.5 hours. So at this point, I think if it happens, if we see it happen again, we're only going to do it under 24 hours. But it gets more and more difficult as time goes on, because we get, more legendaries every 2-3 years. We're going to get more legendaries in July. So, or June or July or whatever. So it just becomes, instead of trying to align 30 schedules, you align 36 schedules. And it just becomes more and more challenging. So I'm not going to say this is the last time we'll see a legendary day. But it is very fortuitous that we did see it when we did. It timed really, really well too, for like a Friday evening and all of Saturday. Like, it was perfectly timed. Like, genuinely really, really well timed, which is, I think, why it was so popular. And I think because it was so sudden, there was a little bit more energy tied to it, and because it was truly under 24 hours, it was just added to it. And there's always, whenever we make posts about fishing, or at least whenever I'm making posts about fishing, there's always this level of like, what's the word? Not amusement. Discovery with the community, where people are, or realization, that's the word, of like, whoa, fishing's this deep? Like, whoa. Like Keanu Reeves, whoa. Type thing. And so I think that is also another driver for events like this as well, of, people not realizing that fishing is designed in such a way where this is a big deal. I think that's part of it as well. I was trying not to torment Wrath. I was a little mean to Wrath. But no, I was trying to be supportive to Wrath. Wrath, though, an amazing sport. Absolutely love working with Wrath. Definitely consider him a friend. He is very, very determined when he decides on doing something. He's like, when he came to me and he was like, Fruity, what do I need to know for this? Oh, it's powerful. Duh. I keep thinking betas are small. When Wrath came to me and he was like, Fruity, what do I need to know for this? I was like, okay, well, here's everything you need to know. And he just groaned and then just promptly did it. I told him he needed 500 cordials. He got 500 cordials. I actually don't know how much he ended up using. His reasoning to me, and I'm saying this because he said it on stream, is now no one can tell him to go do fishing anymore. And I don't. If you are watching me because you watched me with Wrath this weekend, hi, welcome. Stop asking him to fish now. Like, genuinely, I'm not even going to be like, Wrath, let's go fishing. If he comes to me and he goes, Fruity, I want to do more fishing, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll happily take him by the hand if I have to. But after what he did, nah, that man doesn't need to fish for another 2 expansions. Yeah. Cinemetra, by the end of that, I also felt like I was kind of babysitting him a little bit, like affectionately, like positively, because he was clearly starting to really need sleep. So yeah. Let me get the clip of that too, for those who didn't see what happens when your what happens when your computer runs out of RAM? Where even are my videos? On my channel. I redid my, if you would draw your attention to underneath the Twitch channel, you'll see that I have added an About Me, FAQ, and credits section. Where even is my videos right now? Oh, they're there. Boop. Yeah, Wrath was tired as hell at the end. I did check on him the next day, and I was like, hey, did you get some sleep and recovered? And he said yes. So, he did get some recovery there. Yeah. So what happened Friday night when I was streaming? If you were watching, you can catch the clip the clip there. If you were watching on Friday night, you will have noticed that my stream started degrading after a few hours. I think I was into like my 4th or 5th hour. Towards the after 4.5. What ended up happening, to my understanding, was I had left the Carby tracker on and had literally every fish possible on the tracker up and visible. And apparently that in some cases can cause a memory leak. Now, I'm not using like Chrome or Firefox. I was using a browser called WaterFox, which was recommended to me by some Fishcord friends. And because I had that tracker on, I don't know if this is the browser's fault specifically, I should point out. I don't know exactly what caused it. But when is Ninja Beta still up? Yeah. What happened was there was a memory leak. And my browser started using up more and more RAM. To the point where, in the moment that I could see my task manager before everything just went to hell, it was using up 20.5 gigabytes of RAM. This computer only has 32 gigabytes. So what you see in that clip is what happens when you run out of RAM. So I think a few people pointed out, like someone pointed out, like, oh yeah, this is a thing that happens with the Carby tracker. Helps to just close that tracker and reopen it every so often, just in case. I know Carby's working on it, but and it is known. But if you are, please use the filters on the Carby tracker. But yeah, you can see what happens when your computer runs out of RAM. Once I was able to get the browser closed, everything started running normally. It should be fine if you don't have every fish up too. Like, I literally had all fish, all the always up fish, all of those were going on. And I think it's browser specific as well. So yeah, if you look at the clip, you see what happens. Once I got the browser closed, everything went back to performing normally, except I couldn't launch Steam. That's why the stream didn't come back, because I would launch Steam and it would just hang on loading. And it just wouldn't launch. And then certain things wouldn't start launching, so I think I just kind of overloaded the computer at the time. So I'm pretty certain it's a browser-specific thing, so like this is not me saying, making this very clear and going on record, this is not me saying that Carby was the issue, but I think it was a combination of Carby, time, and my browser just not going together because I wasn't using like one of the major browsers. For streams now, I use Chrome. So like right now I'm using Chrome. That's where all of my stuff is being held. But now for like personal browser use, work, those types of things, I'll go back to use WaterFox. So Chrome is only now used for streaming until I figure out what exactly happened. Like truly happened. But that was my guess of what happened on Friday night. It was fun. Yeah, let's see. Also, Wrath was punchy Friday night. Yeah, well, in his defense, I was punchy as well. There was a couple points I was like, Wrath, that was really mean. I'm sorry. Yeah, 14 Angler isn't updated all that much anymore. I think the developer of that even announced like I don't know if it was a retirement or just like a vacation. Oh, I see what you're saying. I was a little mean to Wrath sometimes, and I felt kind of bad about that. um, I think I have C-Hag on this character, right? That is Outer Lenote. No. Upper... No. Western Lenosha. Yes, okay, we do have C-Hag. Do we have Guitarfish? Did I get Guitarfish? Nope. Do I have mackerel strips? Yup. But yeah, no, streaming with Wrath Friday and Saturday was great. It was his idea too, if that matters to anybody. He was like, "Hey, do you want to like go together?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He asked me right after the Legendary Day first came out that after CAF first announced it, and I retweeted it. He came to me. He was like, "Fruity, what do I need to do this?" And I was like, ideally you'll be level 100. You have all the books, all this stuff. He was level 67 when he started. He leveled a bunch. He did a lot of he put in a ton of good work for that. So definitely worthy of not having to be asked to do fishing again. Yeah. I mean, the dude went from like 250 to 500 cordials overnight. I think the day before the event, like I think I was streaming Thursday night. He was in chat, and we were like, "Wrath, you need to go do these things," and I was showing him what he needed. He didn't have his folklore. He didn't have the folklore books until like the night before. Let's see, we also learned that he doesn't have flying unlocked in every zone except, I think, the peaks in Stormblood. Every other expansion he has flying unlocked except Stormblood. But no, Wrath was wonderful. He was very much he was wonderful. 10 out of 10. I think he said that he doesn't do it at this point out of just for making a point. Wrath is great. I do consider him a friend. Next fish. Sure. Fine. I'll get over this one. Oh, is Jordina in 4? Do I need Jordina still for... Hold on. I think the Oceania all needs Jordina. We'll just go to him. If you're not in Stormblood yet, please be aware of the fact that there is spoilers in this stream. Just by the way. FYI, if you are not aware. Do I recommend shrimp ball? What do I recommend for this? Hold on. Sometimes, see, part of the reason why I wrote I put all of my text guides into documents is so that I can go back and refer to them, because I can't remember 300 plus fish max strips. I only have 27. Hope that's enough. Yeah, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah. I have to get out of Yalamad here. You can see how my last attempt at dirtying a fish went. I think it's past these over here. Like I said earlier, this guy just completed Endwalker like a few weeks ago, and I haven't touched him since, which is why I don't have flying unlocked in Thavnair yet. So I'll work on this guy eventually. I need to get my EU alt gone through Dawn Trail. As well at some point. Oh, I guess we're into the Durdina window now. I am casting the Thavnarian Coast, yes. Oh, I have the book, right? Yeah. So, Mackie strips. Under... Do I really recommend mackerel strips? 20 seconds. No, I don't want Dude Perfect. I want Durdina fish.
Thanks for coming in to talk about Doug Jr.
Stop. Stop. That was an ad. I'm sorry. It is mackerel strip. Okay. Jinga. Got a lot of Lady Aiko, thank you for the follow. I'm not watching my own guide. I had to confirm that the guide that I did for the video and the guide that I did for the text guide, I didn't change one but not the other, because technically the text guides in the books are the guides that you see under the videos of all my video guides. By the way, there's text guides if you don't like video guides for all the fish under the video. And Philomeris, thank you for the follow. If you if you don't want videos, you can do that. But hell yeah. Philip brings in another victim. I said to make sure that I didn't update one or the other. Been using your videos for a long time, catching YouTube streams here and there, but first time joining on Twitch. Welcome. You're welcome. Yep. Yeah. I did just talk to Carby too, and this might confuse some people, and I even, part of when I talked to Carby, I said like this might be an issue. Punity Pain now has a video guide. However, it is the Who Knew Peacock Bass video that I did, because the Punity Pain guide is like anything that I do for Punity Pain is mostly just going to be the Who Knew Peacock Bass, and then me saying do this again for the whole window, and that's it. So like, why would I do the same thing twice? So Who Knew Peacock Bass is now the Punity Pain guide on Carby, and if that becomes a problem, I'll redo it, but it just saves me some time down the road. And all the quick tip videos are going to go onto Carby as well. So like I have like eight of those, I think. First one just came out today. I have another one on Thursday, and then Saturday, Sunday. And basically, I have enough stuff now that I will have a video, live stream, or post going out every day for the next 3 weeks. Am I doing that for any reason? No, I just want to see what happens. Feels like Cosmic Haze is such a rare fish for me. I've been to multiple windows and gotten pretty good at hooking shrimp. It just never seems to want to bite. The first thing I would say is, just double check to make sure you have the book, obviously. If you feel like that's a concern. But beyond that, yeah, Cosmic Haze during Endwalker was probably the first quote-unquote challenging fish that we got in Endwalker, at least like one that was engaging and interesting. Cosmic Haze is a bit of a rough one. So if it's taking you a while to get it, don't be too surprised by that. Ooh, Chlorophost Deathworm is up in a minute. Is Cosmic up soon? Oh, 9 hours. I'm a little bit late on that one. I'm at 1,060 fish going for the Resplendent Rod. Ooh, almost there. Have you done your spearfishing yet, Lady Aiko? Because that's a bunch that you could do. Aquamaton is great. I'm a little sad I didn't get Aquamaton. I got a shade shifter off the fish eyes, but it slipped. Nice long bite, and it's gonna just be a Pasca fish. Never mind. Easy. Okay, that's Durdina down. We can now, yes! We can go to Chlorophost Deathworm. Let me just throw this out really quick. The streamer blessing, yeah. Hey, I have a video somewhere of me getting double charbonnet while on stream. I was actually pissed by that. Dirt defeated. Yeah, there's the fate. I definitely still have these as well. Oh, who was gonna go for... Oh, I need to go to my other character. Ugh. Good thing we have, like, 15 minutes at Chlorophost. And it's easy to get the mooch. Because you can basically force it now. Where are you, Chlorophost Deathworm? Scroll, scroll, scroll. Yeah, the Calcea. Alright, back to Crystal. Which Ruby Dragon? My first one? Back when I was just a wee green little fisher. Had no idea what I was doing. I was in a link shell. And someone was like, hey, Durdina, or not Durdina, hey, Ruby Dragon's up. And I'm like, what's Ruby Dragon? And they're like, it's a really hard fish. This is back in early Shadowbringers, late Stormblood. I forget which one it was. I think it was early Shadowbringers. And someone was like, hey, Ruby Dragon's up. I'm like, cool, what do I have to do for that? And they were just like, use Patience 2 and catch cures and loop it. I'm like, okay, cool. 5 minutes later, I have my cure. I think I showed up late to the window maybe. 4 a.m. rolls around, mooch it out, get Ruby Dragon. I go, hey, I did it. And they're like, what the fuck? Oh, crap, I went to the other. Went to my main. I don't want my main. I want Navigator's Brand. This is the problem when you have too many fishing alts. And then at that point, I was like, this is easy. I should just go get the rest of them. And then I did. I didn't rush them. I think at the time, pandemic had settled in by the time I was doing the big fish. And where's my music? Too? What the hell happened there? How long have we been silent? I think, I mean, back in Shadowbringers, I got made. I caught Sethacanthus, Warden of the Seven Hues, and Opabinia within 24 hours, which back in the day was a big deal. Something going on here? There's a lot of people in Korthus all of a sudden. So, fun fact about Chloropho's Deathworm. This guy is one of the 2 record-sized fish that you can get for S-rank quality in Aether Chemical pools. Beforehand, I think it was Alligator Blade Shark. And it's related to Korkoi, Olgoi Korkoi, which is caught in Thanalan as well. Because, you know, Thanalan and the surface of the moon with Aether Chemical Goo is so similar. But at least with Chlorophyll, it's a whole lot easier to get now, because you can just use Modestler to get the Calcea. Though, then again, it was also easy for a while in Endwalker because this was one of the fish that was impacted by the versatile lure bug. Shadow Shriek in 1, Sea Butterfly in 2. Ronka in 17, but I know we have Ronka already. That would... Bobblers, that would have actually been really funny. I would have been here for that. That's a level of stupid silly that I would be in support of. Lore implications of that would just be really funny. Oh, that gave me an idea. That actually is not a bad idea, Fruity. Write that down on my... So, for Christmas, I asked for Post-it notes, because I love writing stuff down on Post-it notes. And, the Post-it notes I got are in the shape of a fishbowl, and they have little fish in them. But Let me see if that is an idea. I was thinking about for the fish train on Thursday. So this week's fish train, for those who are unaware of what a fish train is, it is basically a set schedule of fish that, as a group, we all meet up on a server. I don't know which server it'll be yet, but we all meet up on a server, and then we just go and fish together. And it's like a social thing. It's a little bit like the Day of Legends in a way, but it's not all legendary fish. The one that I'm doing this Thursday is not one of the ones where I teach how to catch big fish. That is the next one of those, I think, is April 8th? April 9th. So 2 weeks. But I'm going to do we're just going to do a normal fish train this Thursday. BYOB, bring your own bait. Make sure you have the folklore tomes. We'll probably go across all of the expansions. I kind of want to do some Dawn Trail fish in these fish trains because I want to see how they play out with a group. But we'll be doing something like that on Thursday. It'll probably be around... Time do I have? Like 6. It'll start sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So, like 2.5 to 3.5 hours from now on Thursday. Good morning, Doc. So, that'll be there. I don't know which server it'll be on. It'll probably be with this character. So we'll be doing something like that.
Blue whales can grow up to 31 meters long and weigh up to 160 tons.
Blue whales are big. It's 3. It is. What are you doing up at 3:30 in the morning? They're mammals. The largest fish is a whale shark, I think. Oh, well, congratulations then on getting some sleep. Can you be quiet, dude? Like, you're just flopping around. The fish are quieter. Thank you. This weekend on Saturday when Wrath and I were streaming, Wrath named his stream the worst day of my life, and I'm really annoyed I didn't think of it until Saturday morning. But I named my stream the best day of my life, and at one point on Twitch, him and I were the number 1 and number 2 slot on the Final Fantasy XIV category, so it was just the worst day of my life and the best day of my life, just back to back, number 1 and 2. I think Aga did a bit of art on that one too. Let me grab that, because it was really funny. There it is. Actually, I'll just give you the Blue Sky link because we will give credit. We need to make sure that Aga gets credit for this because it's really funny. The best part about Chlorophos Deathworm now is that you basically can have 100% mooch uptime, but then you have a very quick bite on the mooch, so you like know immediately if you're gonna get it or not. Though if I'm going to be doing a fish train, I need to get more cordials on this guy. I might just go into Cosmic on this guy, and do Sinus on him. Dude, I'm not going to stay up for that boat. I would be down for if they did a fishing class, but it was just, instead of fish, it was bugs. Be all over that. Let me be a bug catcher. Oh, what game was it? Oh, Crimson Desert. I know the whole AI thing. That's not great. But Crimson Desert has a collectible log for like literally everything. And one of the things that it is insects, and there's like sub things of insects that you can get, and my favorite is there's a collector's log for containers, and it's just like various containers you can collect. It'd be nice for this fight. Actually, I should have the moon. I have the moon one, right? Yeah. Realize I haven't done a lot with the Sea of Stars, but if I have Sidereal Whale in this guy, I definitely have the moon. I would love bug catching. That would be fun. So you used to be able to gather your own bait. Soil creepers was a thing for botanists to use, and then fishers would gather the bait. But that doesn't exist anymore. No one uses soil creepers. Can't even get them. Am I going to actually go to the piano concert this year? At FanFest? We didn't do the piano concert in Vegas because my friend and I were so tired. No, I'm not going to be able to get that out. Let's quickly go end on the undecided. but oh, helps if I have GP. Oh, here's a question for fish that have a specific bite time. I saw in one of your videos you macro the timer. How do you do that? That's a really good question. These are all really good questions, except when they're not. So you can create your own macros, in-game macros, if you go to System, User Macros, and then you can just make all of your own. The cast timers, these are also all in the descriptions of all of my videos. I have a paste bin that uses like every macro that I use at some point is in there. But you can create your own. And what I use is /echo, and then /echo is what puts it into your chat, but only you can see it. So like when I mooch, that'll start up a mooch. Let me put that in a playset. It's my mouse. That was my mouse this time. You can see how now it's starting to count up. That's the echo, so only I can see that. Get back there. Oh, I always bully M. That's fine. I should say, apparently I always bully M. I don't remember doing that, but M seems to have it in her mind that I bully her a lot. I also just use Modest Slayer. I should be using Ambitious Slayer. Oops. Big oops. This is a really good remix. Oh wait, never mind. No. Panicked there because I thought I had reeled something in, but I didn't. Jazz, I just saw the sticker that you posted. That's a very good sticker, and it's gonna be handed out at the aquarium. That's I am not in a position right now where I'm willing to or comfortable spending a ton of money on extra cards, or I would have done what I had pitched to some people in a Discord a while ago, where I hand out fish trading cards that I painted myself. I digitally painted, you know, the art for these cards, and then I would hand them out. And I have a bunch left over from, you know, the past few years of doing this, so I'm just going to bring those, which will be plenty. But what I really wanted to do was buy a pack of Purse of Riches cards, and I would have, you know, made a Purse of Riches painting and done all that, and then only bring one with me to FanFest and hide it amongst the deck, and then have everybody draw their card. I don't know which. I don't know which cards will be this year. It'll definitely be Aquamaton. I haven't done a FanFest with Aquamaton yet, so that's why I don't feel too bad about it. I also still have some Commander, like Fruity Snacks Commander Magic the Gathering cards that Aro made me. That I'll hand those out to people who actually play Magic. But I just have to, man, we are really close to FanFest, and I am not feeling prepared for that yet. But that is a really, really good sticker. I've been to California a few times. I've done San Jose, I've done San Francisco a couple of times. This will be my first time in SoCal, though. So that'll be nice. Excited to just add another aquarium to my list of places that I visited. I am also very excited because when I pick up the tickets, I get to go walk up to the counter to pick up the tickets. And I haven't had to do this since the Vegas Fan Fest. And when I went to the Vegas Fan Fest, I ordered 127 tickets for the Mandalay Bay Aquarium. And the face on this woman who was at the who was the teller, her face was absolutely amazing. I wish we were recording, but we weren't because that would have been rude. But I walked up and she's like, "Hi, yeah." I'm like, "Hi, I'm picking up a group order." And she goes, "Okay, what was the name under Fruity Snacks? How many tickets was it?" 128. And the look on her face was just like, "Come again?" So I'm kind of a little excited to see what the reaction is going to be when I walk up to the Aquarium of the Pacific and go, "Hi, I'm here to pick up the group reservation for, you know, Fruity Snacks and FanFest. I ordered 168 tickets." So we'll see what happens. And we'll see if that changes, if we get a different response. But when I talked to, the Aquarium of the Pacific. When I talked to the woman on the phone, she was really, really nice. And I mentioned that this was, you know, for FanFest at the Anaheim Convention Center. And she seemed to have a general idea of the fact that cosplay might be involved. And so she started asking me, like, these questions about cosplay and stuff. of like, okay, do you guys expect to have cosplay there? And I'm like, no, probably not. If you will, I'm telling them to be casual, and they're like, yeah. So we had like a conversation about their cosplay rules. Which, if you signed up for the aquarium event, you will get an email with all the information you need in about 2 or 3 weeks. Probably mid-April. Yeah, she specifically said no weapons, which I've never had an issue with, and nothing that fully covers the head. Oh yeah, no worries. So at FanFest this year, I'm hosting a meetup at the Aquarium of the Pacific for Final Fantasy fans and, fishing fans. And this will be the second FanFest in a row that I've hosted this, and this will be the 4th aquarium meetup that I've hosted. Yeah. And so I just put in the reservation on Friday for that. And we just had a nice conversation. She was really nice. She was like, "Okay, how many tickets would you like?" And I was like, 168. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. We can do that." I was like, "Oh, okay, good," because I was worried. Because when I called them in November, I was estimating 135, 140, 150 at the most. So 168 is above my expectation. So yeah, they were like, no head coverings, family friendly, no sexy Thancred. Sorry, Kevin. Those types of things need to be addressed. And if you RSVP'd or you told me that you were going to be there but get your own tickets, which if you're in the Anaheim area, you're welcome to come. You'll get an email from me if you gave me your email for that. But that's not something that I'm gonna start writing until for another 2 weeks. I have a trip between now and then I'm gonna focus on. But yeah, she was really nice, and she was very clear. It was oh yeah, if you have cosplay, keep it casual. No head coverings, no weapons, even if it's fake. Keep it family friendly. Nothing nothing out of the ordinary. They had to book us across 2 hours of their time slots. So I think when you get your ticket, it'll say 10 or 11 a.m. But they made a note saying yeah, they'll be here at 3:30. Because there was so many people, though, I did officially bump the start of it up from 4 to 3:30, just for those who want to show up early. But that's mostly so that we don't have to check everybody in. Excuse me. So we don't mostly have to check everybody in 30 minutes. We have a whole hour to check people in. That's more so for the volunteers and me, not necessarily for the people showing up. Alright, let's deposit our fish. Which one has my fish? Is it you? Nope. And me. I did say and me. There we go. There is our fish. Is this all of our fish? Where did these fish come from? Whatever. Wait, hold on. Why am I doing this? Just in case. Yeah, I knew I had some. Oh, these are... Whoops. Those are donation fish. Now I remember. Because these are fish that I haven't caught. These are all donation fish. That's right. You were holding my fish. No, you're not holding my fish. Arugula? I promise I'm more, put together with this. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I name a lot of my retainers after food. Because usually the names aren't taken for some odd reason. But, alright, we are going to be ending on that, though. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, well, then at least I just hope you had a good time. But thank you for watching anyways. For those of you who are not, please, if you like what you saw or watched, please like, follow, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Lady Aiko, if you do want to show up, you can. Send me a DM on Discord or Blue Sky or Twitter or something with your email, and I will put you on the list of people who are going to be showing up but not RSVP'd. You'll just have to get your own ticket, which I can't necessarily guarantee, but I don't think it'll be a problem. So yeah, just send me that, and you'll get an email from me with all the info that you'll need about where everybody will be meeting up, rules, all that other stuff that the aquarium has given me. Anyways, again, thank you everyone for watching. My name is Fruity Snacks. I do fishing content predominantly in Final Fantasy XIV. If you like what you see, please like, follow, subscribe. Cat's getting fed. We'll be back on Thursday. That's it. I will be back on Thursday, like I was mentioning, for a fish train that'll probably start around 6, or it'll start between 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time on Thursday. If you would like to participate in that, please make sure that you have all of your folklore tomes. You will need to bring your own baits, so stock up on some purple scripts, and probably also grab some of the best gear you can get. We'll probably try and do some Dawn Trail fish. I'm not sure. I am not too sure what the theme of the fish train will be, but there will be big fishing, so have some fun with that. Finally, now that I've added it, I can actually remember. My theme is done by Atelier Bubble Tea. Emotes are done by Fox Snyder. My profile picture is also done by Fox Snyder. You can check out their credits down below the video on Twitch. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are on YouTube, especially thank you. I will see you all later. If you're on Twitch, we are going to raid you into somebody.